All right, gang, welcome to a brand new challenge and a brand new series. We are on Riverview. The map is Riverview. It's by Cavalier Roy. It's a great map, honestly. One that I missed. I think it was when I was out of town that I missed it. But regardless, we're going to start a new challenge on this map. This is from the mind of my friend Rusty Money Gaming, so if you haven't checked his channel out, I recommend you go do it. He does put a video out that's about 30 minutes long of a setup on how to set this whole thing up. I will kind of describe it at a very high level, and everything will be down below in the description, but if you want a more visual, detailed representation of how it works, maybe go check his out. But basically, the way this is going to work is we have got to own 4 different farms by the end of the actual series. We also have to pay off a $1 million loan that we currently have, and we start with $250,000. Now, with that $250,000 we start with, we can buy one of 3 farms. In the end, we have to have 4. But we buy one of the 3 at the very beginning. One of the 3 that we have to choose between are 56 here, which is pretty nice, 117,000. I think this is where Crust2 started. Excuse me, not Rusty. Crust2 started. Actually, as a matter of fact, this is where he started at. It comes with a very, 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 very large pasture for sheep and or goats. Pretty nice, but it doesn't have a whole lot of land as far as the yard goes. We can also start at field 60, which I believe is where we are going to start. Now, this one comes with a pigsty, a bunch of other sheds, and a number of other things. So not too bad. Let me give a bird's eye view because it's a little bit bigger than that last land was. So all this is kind of the yard area, and then this is all for the pigs, which is significant. It's pretty large. And then finally, we can go down here to field 50, or plot 50, not field 50. None of these have fields, excuse me. Plot 50. This one, well, you start in the middle of the cow pen, but this one has pretty much a mix of everything. It's got tons of buildings. So if you decide to purchase this one, you're going to be starting out pretty nice. You're going to have a decent chunk of change. So it will be a little bit easier if you start out with this one, because you are allowed to remove every building from here if you want to. But the clause here is that every farm has to have at least 1 animal pen on it. At least. One farm will have to have 2, but every farm has to have at least 1 animal pen. Now, that animal pen on each farm that you have has to have at a minimum 100 head of whatever that animal is. So it's 100 head of cows, 100 head of sheep, 100 head of chickens, whatever it is. You have to have 100 head of whatever that animal is on every single one of those. So, getting into a little bit more of the finite details of what I just showed you, right? You have to finish with 5 animal pens with 100 plus head of livestock, which I just told you. You have to finish custom building out 2 of the 4 farms. So I showed you the 3. I'll show you the 4th one here in a second. But 2 of those 4 have to have a full farm on it. So they have to have tractors, houses, buildings, everything else. The other 2, they can literally just have the animals on them and maybe a few other sheds or something. You don't have to have a full farm on that, if that makes any sense. And you also have to finish with $2 million while also paying off the $1 million loan that we currently start with. It's going to be a fun one, gang. Let me kind of show you a little bit more about the finite details here before I show you that 4th farm of what we're starting with here, and I'm going to change a few of them on the fly here. We are going to do easy. I know that's going to make some people upset that like to watch more difficult stuff, but we are going to keep it on the easy. I think this is going to be difficult enough as it is, and I don't want to run it for 150 episodes just to say we're doing it on hard economy. I'd rather move on to do another challenge at some point down the future, right? So we're going to keep it on easy. Seasonal growth, I'm going to turn that off. That'll probably make somebody upset too, but we're going to turn that off. Days per month 1, that's fine. Fixed visual muff, let's leave it off. The snow on. Crop destruction is always going to be on in every series that I run, unless otherwise stated. I mean, I don't think I've ever done a series without crop destruction on. Periodic plowing, I almost always have this off. I'm going to turn it on this time. Fieldstone's going to be off. We're going to switch lime to being off. I normally have lime on and periodic plowing off. We're going to rotate those this time. Weeds are on. Enabled destruction, absolutely. Dirt, let's just drop it to low. I hate automatic engine start. We're going to turn that off. Fuel usage low. I don't really want to worry about that stuff. It's not really that big of a deal. All the AI stuff is off as you would expect. Let's go ahead and save. That way all the settings are saved and properly ready to go. Okay, so I showed you the first 3 farms you have to choose from. The 4th and final farm that you have to buy, well, I guess you don't have to buy it. I guess you can buy it anytime you want, but you have to have enough money. Right now, we do not have enough money to buy it. It costs $422,000. It's Farmland 57. So, you have to own 57, 56, 60, and 50. You have to own all 4 of those and have over $2 million in the bank while also paying off the $1 million loan. It's not an easy feat. And also have the animals, like I talked about, right? Not an easy feat. So 56 is a nice one because it's smaller, so you maybe technically have a little bit more money. The 50 down here, pretty decent size amount of land. It's actually the cheapest one of the three as far as the land goes to purchase, and it has a ton of buildings on it, so you can make a ton of money and be in a lot better shape to start out with. We're not going to do any of those. We're going to start on field 60. So let's go to field 60. Let's purchase it. Let me get out of the way of the 60 there so I can actually purchase it. Costs 171,456, and as you see, it does have a little bit of land that goes down here up and around the road. I'm not sure what we're going to be able to do with that, if anything, besides maybe cut down the trees. I don't necessarily know if I want to do that, though. But anyway, we're going to purchase that. All right, so we're going to go visit it. So we've got all these buildings on here, and we're going to get rid of almost all of them. I have a specific reason for this. So we'll get rid of this guy. We're going to get rid of the pigsty. We're not going to start with pigs. Get rid of the shed. Get rid of this one. I'm going to keep this one for now. We may get rid of it as we carry along here. I guess it just depends on, after I start getting things together, what I like and what I don't like. But everything else is going away. Everything else is going away. We're going to start with sheeps or goats. I know we do that a lot already, but they are a good thing to start with, I think, this challenge. We're going to have to do all the animals anyway, so it doesn't really matter which one you start with, in my opinion. And we're going to start, we're going to put the actual pin, or the building, whatever you want to call it, over here. I just want to try to make it as close as I can without being too unrealistic. Having said that, you know, what I'm doing right now is probably pretty unrealistic, but you get what I mean. All right, let's go there. We're going to create our own fence boundary for it. My camera work is not going to be the best here, gang, so just bear with me as I get all this set up. All right, we're going to, and then there's an area restricted always here for whatever reason, so you just got to be, you know, careful with where you're going here. Now, this barn we put down is a mod that is included with this actual map. So when you install the map, this mod is included with it. It's one of the ones that is the one that Crusty's doing, the one I showed you, the smaller area. This is the exact same shed setup as that one has. The only difference is we're doing this custom made versus that one. Okay, I think I messed something up here, because normally it lets me. Okay, let's reset it here. I didn't go far enough, evidently. Okay, right around in there is where we want. We just want to make sure this is relatively straight. That's better. This should work. Once I get it reset here, lined up as I want it. Perfect. And then we can connect it back to here. Yes, we want meadows in there. Perfect. Now, the reason why we're putting it here is because, well, quite frankly, I like these trees. I didn't really want to get rid of the trees, and I wanted to incorporate them in one way or another. So it's going to be some shade for our sheep and or goats that we end up putting in here. All right, so that's where that is. Now back here, it's pretty hilly. There's really not a whole lot that we can put back here. So as you can see, it's kind of intruding a little bit into here, but that's fine. It's not really that big of a deal. This side over here is a little bit flatter, so potentially we get rid of a couple of these trees and we can expand that out a little bit. There's also some room here for maybe a smaller shed or something here, whatever we decide to do. But in any case, this is mostly just going to be for the sheeps and the goats. Now, the final thing we have to put down to start, and then we can buy tractors and buy animals and everything else, which, as you can see, we only have $195,000 right now. We don't have that much money. We really don't. But we also have to put down a house, and it has to be like a legitimate house. It can't be like, you know, a tent or you know, this bench or, you know, a doormat. Really, I'm going to count the tiny house as it doesn't count either. It needs to be a legitimate house. So we're going to put down this American farmhouse. I think this is the one I want. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but I think it's this one. Yeah, that's the one I want. Now, I will admit that I was doing a little research on this area, and originally I wanted to put it over here. It's not the best place for it. There's not really enough room for me to turn around and everything else, because we're going to need to have a little bit of room to maneuver in here. Because eventually, even though there's a decent amount of meadow here, eventually we're going to need to put some grass in here, and I will show you why in just a second. Uh-oh, my battery must have died. Apologies, gang. I didn't pop up telling me my battery's going to die. Apologies. There we go. So, we got to kind of figure out a different location to put the house. I don't know where I want to put it at. That's the problem, right? Because my vision initially when I was looking at this area was to put it over here. right, by the animals. It makes sense. Normally, you know, farmers would have their house near their animals. That way, if they hear any kind of danger or something, they can wake up in the middle of the night and try to go save whatever they can of their livestock, right? So, perhaps right here, you know, just right here on the edge of the land here. I don't want to be, you know, I want to make it look relatively realistic. No backyard at all here. You'd have the, you know, the road right there too, I guess, but you would be overlooking what is a lake behind us, so that's not terrible. Let's try it. Let's try it. Or a river, I guess it's a river. Sorry, I thought it was a lake. It's a river. Let's see. Does that give us enough room to drive around? Yeah, that's perfect. We can fix this up too, right? We can get rid of some of this ground and make it more grass, put some meadow in, make it look a little bit more legitimate, right? Yeah, I'm fine with this. This is fine. Okay, perfect. So, we've got our start. We have $160,811 to our name. It's not a lot of money. Not a lot of money at all. Is there anything? There are a few things out here. It would almost be nice, I think, to get this because we're going to be doing a lot of stuff with the sheep and the goats right off the bat, right? Now, they can just eat the meadow initially. This is a great tractor, though, too. Okay, we're going to have to make a decision there. They can eat this meadow, which is why we spent the extra money to put the meadow in here, and that should be sufficient for a while. We are going to buy the ones that can reproduce pretty much immediately because we want to get this going pretty quickly here. Now, the thing about this is that's different than the other ones is this mod allows you to have 2,000 sheep and or goats. That's a lot of sheep or goats, gang. And that's why I'm saying I'm going to need room to turn around in here because even though the meadow is pretty decent, if we get to a point where they reproduce and they have 1,500, 2,000 animals in there, we're going to need a hell of a lot of grass over here. A hell of a lot of grass. Now, this one does not require any water. The water is already there. It's hooked up, as you can see it, so we don't have to put any water in, which is great. But that is going to be an astronomical amount of grass that's going to happen when that time comes. Now, I want to buy some animals, but we really need to make a decision here on what we're going to be purchasing as far as the vehicle go, what tractor we're going to get, right? Because we need to be able to move these pallets of wool, right? We're going to have to move them because we're going to need to sell them, right? We're going to need to make some money off that. Eventually, we hopefully put down a production, right, that we can turn them into clothes or whatever it may be, but initially, we're going to need to sell it. So this one's kind of calling my name here, but I think it might be a little bit too expensive for us, though. I mean, we're looking at 86,452. Let me just bear with me while as I walk through this here. I mean, you're looking at, you know, almost 100 grand here. You're going to be at 100 grand by the time you buy this and the pallet fork. You're going to be at 100 grand. So that leaves us with 60 grand. Now, I should say this. You are allowed to do contracts. Unfortunately, we're still at a point in the game where there's just not enough out that contracts have to be utilized. So we are allowed to do contracts, which is great, right? It's going to be a lot of contracts probably early on anyway. The sheep are going to help us out tremendously, but there's going to be a lot of contracts early on. There's not really a whole lot we can do about that. Eventually, we want to paint this ground as well. We want to get rid of this muddish type of area. We want to make this look a little bit more like it would be a yard or a farm, right? So we'll get to that point at some point. So the only other thing I guess we can do is look at the small tractors and see the price difference, right? 117 horsepower. Does have a front loader. The Zetor is really nice. I mean, see, all these are still pretty expensive. I mean, unless you get this John Deere. I guess this one's all right. 45,000, 116 horsepower. And the one with the used one, right, we're going to have to continue to service it, right? These are nice, but they don't have the ability for a front loader. So those aren't going to work, and everything else in here is too expensive, in my opinion. Maybe the Velmet does have a front loader attachment. It's 84 though, so I mean it's pretty much the same price as what we're buying now. You've got this one for 68, which is 175 horsepower, which is not bad. So what's this one come with? 234 horsepower. Okay, change my mind. We're going to go with the other one, the one that's only is 175 horsepower. It's just cheaper. It's going to save us more money. It makes more sense right now because we are money strived right now, right? When we've got the loan that we have to worry about, this $1 million loan, it's going to be very expensive every month. Let's go with this one. This is fine because right now we don't have any actual cropland right now anyway, right? So let's go with this one. We'll utilize the quickie, 175 horsepower. So we need to buy. And then we want the fork. Okay, at least this is 80 grand. It's not a terrible amount of money, but it's not bad. I think the animals are over here. Purchasing the animals, excuse me. There it goes. All right, what do we want here? What kind of sheep do we want? We probably want some goats too. Whoa, we do not want that many. No, thank you. Okay, let's buy 25 goats. The sheep barn holds 2,021. It's a lot, gang. It's a lot. Yeah, let's buy 25 goats, and these are ready to breed, so that's good. Okay, and then we want some sheep. Now, what kind of sheep do we want here? I don't think it really matters, right? I don't think there's any difference in sheep, is there? Okay, we'll go the Swiss Black Brown Mountain. There we go. 38 of them. Around 20 grand for both the goats and for the sheep here. That'll be good. That'll give us a little bit of money, not a ton, but a little bit of money to play with in case we need it. And we can always spend more on this anyway, right? We can always put more into the sheep anyway, or the goats or whatever. Okay. All right, 63 animals leaves us with a total of $38,938. And look at them out there, loving life. They got some shade, they got some sun, they get everything. They got it all. They got it all. They're loving life, man. All right, let's get into the John Deere here. Let's get this back to the farm. And then we're going to look at some contracts. We're going to need to do some contracts today. Because we don't have any land at all. Now, eventually, we're going to need to get some kind of a trailer, which we can work towards probably in the next episode. Not this one, but probably in the next episode. Let's see. How can I get back to where we are? I guess I need to go to the right here and then just follow this path and then turn left eventually. And that'll take us there. Don't know this map well enough yet to not have to utilize the map, so if you have to bear with me a little bit here, gang. I'm actually probably just going to turn the map on now, I think. This is not the right way, so I've already started out going the wrong way, so that's great. Alright, go ahead. Just go around me, dump truck. It's fine. I'm not here. This is the way we need, right? Yes. Oh, we're on the left side. Oh, I forgot we're in Europe. My mistake. We're on the left side. I gotta get used to this. Boy. Okay. No wonder the dump truck just went flying right past me. Oh, it's on the wrong side of the road. Whoops. Oh, look at this! Look how high up in the air we are. Hold on a second. We're gonna take a little scenic look real quick. Look how high up in the air we are. Holy smokes! What a view, huh? What a view! All right, let's look inside the tractor here. We haven't done that yet. Pretty nice. Looks pretty comfortable. Looks got the air ride and everything. It's nice. Now, I've talked about a number of other challenges that I want to do on the channel, and I still plan to and want to do them on the channel. What are you doing? What was that, Alfred? What the hell was that? Oh, this is going to be a map where we're going to have issues with the cars. I can already see it. I can already see it happening. Oh, boy. Alfred's starting out right off the bat. If you stumbled across this and you don't know, for whatever reason, if you stumbled across this and it's the first time you've been on the channel, a lot of us, all the guys that do these challenges together, there's a group of us that normally do, a lot of us have named it. Some of my members have named some of the cars as well. There's a select handful that are what we call the true assholes of the game, where they always do stuff just like Alfred, just like what you just saw. They just, they're pieces of work, let's put it that way. They're pieces of work. So you'll hear me calling out names from time to time, and if I call out a name like that and there's a car around me, that's the name of that car. Now, we haven't named the ice cream truck, I'm going to be honest with you. That is one we have yet to name. That's a new one. All right, we're pulling up right here. All right, this is our land right here. That wasn't too far of a drive. That wasn't too bad from the shop there. That's not too bad at all. Now, let's put the tractor right here for now. Because whatever we're going to be doing, we're going to have to borrow the equipment, right? Unless we can find something that, you know, that we know we're going to need eventually at some point, right? So this is a cultivator. I mean, yeah, I guess. I don't think that's the true cultivator we want, though. So let's see. What do we got out here for contracts? We've got a bale wrapping, baling, deadwood, fertilizing, harvesting. It's a big harvesting contract right there. Holy moly. Hoeing. I would love to do a hoeing contract. I like hoeing contracts. I think I've talked about that recently. Doing both of these would be amazing. How much is I don't even know how much the hoe is that they're showing you right there. That's the one I like. Where's it at? It's under weeders, I think. 36,000. So we have enough to buy it, but only just. Only just. 160 horsepower. I think our tractor can do that, can't it? I can't remember how much horsepower it has because we were looking at one and then we switched to another one. 175. So yeah, we can buy that. It would take up pretty much all the money we have, but if we do both those contracts, I mean, we're back to 20 grand, so we'd only lose, you know, $18,000 out of it. And I feel like we're going to need a weeder anyway at some point because eventually we are going to be able to buy a field of some sort. We're going to need it because, I mean, we're going to need it for, you know, all the stuff we have to do for these animals, right? Maybe not the sheep and the goats because they just need grass, but, you know, when we get to the cows or the water buffalo or whatever, the chickens, right, we're going to need that. Do we purchase it, though? Or do we just lease it? How much was it to lease it? I should have looked at that. 600. But basically, we're just going to get an extra $600 out of it. So it would basically just be, I mean, it'd be $14,000 for this contract, and then the other one would be the full amount because we could use it for both of them. Huh? Is it really worth it for $600? Probably not. Probably not. We're just going to borrow it. We're just going to borrow it this time. Maybe eventually we're going to buy it, but I just don't feel comfortable buying it right now, even though we would get, you know, a bunch of it back, like I said. I don't think it's worth it right now. So let's borrow it. And then let's find the other one here, and then let's accept it. Okay. Definitely heavy. Definitely needs his weight on the front. Okay. So, we want to go... What's the closest one to us? 38? 38. The big one. Let's go to the big dog first, huh? And I don't know how to get there. I don't even know what way I should be going to get there. I guess the main road here, I guess? And then take the side road? We're going to turn the map back on. Turn the camera back on. Let's put the beacons on. Probably need that. What are you guys doing? You get smacked in the face. What you're gonna do? Uh-oh, we got speed bumps. I hate speed bumps in real life. I get why they're there because there's these houses right at the very end, but man, I hate speed bumps. I hate them. I hate these kind of speed bumps. Get a nice view of the town here, though, right? Which we don't normally do a whole lot of. So this is nice to see the town here, because we're not really gonna, unless we're doing a contract, we're not really gonna be over in this area very often. I just gotta remember to be on the left side of the road here. I almost went back to the right side there. Okay, is it straight ahead then? Has to be. Has to be. This is a nice little drive up here. I like this a lot. So one of the other plots of land you can start with has a really nice entrance. I almost picked that one, but it is the one that had a bunch of buildings on it, and I felt like it was just too cheaty early on, if that makes any sense. I don't know if that makes sense or not. To me, it felt like it was... I would have way too much money right off the bat. I'd be able to buy another plot of land right now. I'd be able to do all kinds of stuff, and since we're playing on easy, it just didn't... It didn't, to me... seem like something we should be doing. Are we even doing anything here? Am I on the wrong field? No, we're on the right field, but nothing's happening here. There it goes. Okay, we'll probably put the steering assist on for this one, honestly. Because it's a big field. It's a big field. The nice thing is that you do cruise along at 15 mile per hour. It's really nice. I mentioned this, I don't know, a while ago, and on multiple episodes ago on a different series, about how I really am starting to enjoy doing the hoeing, which I never really did a whole lot of in FS22. I would always just spray. But this is much cheaper. Right? You can just literally spray it. Or not spray it. You can just literally drive across it. You don't have to worry about buying any kind of spray to get rid of it. So, I like it. I like it a lot more. Anyway, I've rambled on quite a lot here, so let's get into this. It's a long, large field here. This is going to take a while. Well, this is quite the field here, gang. This is taking a long time. I know that was a pretty decent-sized time lapse there, but we're making progress. We're almost done here, actually. We're at 92%, so that's good. I think we might have missed a strip or two here in the middle. We might have to come back and touch those up, but we're going to play it off like we don't need to come back to there and just see what happens here. It's a really, really good map, man. This is a very beautiful, gorgeous map. I love the church in the background. I like the, well, I guess it's a partially river, partial lake of some sort there. Houses over there on that island. Really cool. Really, really cool. Steering Assist has been helping a lot. There were certain portions of it that I'm sure you saw that it was not doing what I thought it was going to do, so I had to kind of realign there a little bit. I would set it up and turn on the Steering Assist, and it would start turning on me. But we got through it. We got through it. Like when it does things like that, like I feel like it's missing a section there, but perhaps it's not. Maybe I just went too far. Who knows? We'll look at the map here when we're done to, if we don't get to 100%, which it's seeming like we're not going to. We're going to get pretty close, though. But it seems like we're going to be around 97, 98% here. So I don't think I asked you, how's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're all doing well today. As good as you can be. This is going to be a fun series, this one right here. It'll be a lot of fun. It'll be difficult, though. Even though we're playing on easy and, we don't have, a couple of the other options on, I still think it's going to be pretty difficult, given everything we have to accomplish and how little money we have. Okay, so we're going the wrong way here, first of all. We need... Well, it doesn't really show you, does it? Well, that's a bit unfortunate. They're in it. Doesn't really show you where it's needed at. Uh-oh. That's not a good thing for me. If I zoom out, can I see tire tracks at all? Sort of. There's definitely something here that didn't get done for sure. We're at 98% now. Let's hope for the best here. Probably just going to have to zoom out like that just to figure out where and what was missed. Alright, perfect. We got it. Never mind. We're good. I knew there was a spot over here that was missed. I knew that for a fact. Okay, so this contract's done. So now we've got to go all the way across the other side of the map. And the easiest way to get there from here, I guess, is to go back kind of past where our land is and then down and across the river. The only other place that I can see that you can cross the river is over there, kind of in the middle of the map by Field 42, 7 and 67. If you see that, there's a little bridge there. I think that's the only other bridge over there. Now, we could continue to go up. I know if you're looking at the map now, the arrow's facing down, but if you go that way, I guess we can go up around by Fields 1, 5, 3, 4, and then over, to 6 and 7 and go that way, I suppose. But let's go the way that, buy our land and get more, familiar and used to the map here, if as much as we can, right? Put the beacons back on. I realized I had the beacons on when I started doing the time lapse there. Should have turned those off a while ago, but I didn't. Trees are a bit in the way here if I want to have a zoomed out view here. Oh boy. I'll try the best I can here to zoom in a little bit, but I want to be able to see stuff too. Alright, the carpentry's there. We've got a gas station here. The soup factory's there. Part of me wishes I could buy some of these houses, because we could turn this into a pretty fun series if we could own some of those houses. But that's not the case. Right, I think we're coming back up closer to the shop here, I think, if I'm starting to recall where we are. Yes, we are, so we need to turn right here. We're getting it, gang. We're getting it. We're going to have to buy some kind of a grass field at some point in the near future. Maybe this one right here, 43. It's a pretty nice one. It's hilly, but it is a decent size, and it's not a huge field for what it's worth compared to most of the other fields on this map. If you probably didn't really get to look at them that closely, but if you do, you can tell most of them, if you look at the map there in the left-hand corner, they're pretty big fields. They're very large fields, as a matter of fact. So they're not cheap by any means. So trying to find some fields that are inexpensive and will be able to accomplish what we need, like a grass field like that, would be fantastic. There are a lot of smaller fields that have trees all over them. It's just a forest of trees. But other than that, there's really not many small fields that are available for, you know, agricultural of any sort. Now, if we got rid of the trees, got rid of the stumps, certainly we could probably turn it into one, as long as it's not too hilly. There's a grape store over there. See the big grape sign out up on top of the building over there. All right, this is our area over here we're coming up to. There's our John Deere over there and the sheep and the goats. There's our house. A little close to the road, like I said, but that's okay. It's out of the way, which is really the most important thing, because we're going to be utilizing a lot of that land, I feel like, at some point. We're going to have a lot of equipment. All right, back here we go. Now, this is a nice little entrance here. This is a little tree tunnel, as I like to call them. I like this. I like this a lot. Opens right up into this big field. This is great. This one's going to be a little bit... Oh, evidently we cannot move those hedges, okay? Or we cannot drive through those hedges, I mean. This one's going to be a little bit easier to see where you have and have not been, where the last one, you know, the weeds weren't that tall, so they were like the same height as the actual crop itself. So it was a little difficult to figure out where you had and had not been. This one will not be the same way. This will be much easier. Well, it should be much easier, rather. This is not as big of a field either. It's still a big field, but it's not like that last one, so this one won't take as long to do. We did a nice long time lapse with the hoeing there, the weeding, whatever. I'm not going to do a time lapse on this one. I'm going to spare you that having two long time lapses doing the exact same thing back to back. We'll do a bit of a jump cut whenever I'm not talking. I'll just edit that portion out. So future Z, make sure you edit out portions where I'm not talking here. You know I will, but you know. Gonna make some good money, man. We're gonna make 20 plus grand off of this. Means we could potentially buy some more animals if we wanted to. I'm not sure I'm going to. I'm actually kind of leaning towards saving the money for either, one, paying off part of the loan, which I think if we pay off part of the loan every month, just a small amount, $5,000, $10,000 every month, I think that will, in the long run, help us out a lot. We're saving on fees, even though it'll be a small amount. Eventually, when we get a little bit later on in the series, it will help tremendously when the fact that we've been slowly paying off the loan, because we'll have less to pay off. Also, probably be good for us to start saving to try to get at least a piece of land that's our own. Like I said, maybe we look at that grass field potentially. Seems like a good place to start, given that it's not terribly far away from our current land, or our current yard, and it shouldn't be terribly expensive given the size of all the other fields in comparison to that one. It's a bit of an awkward shaped field here. It's got some weird angles and turns on it. We're just going to let it do its thing. I don't know which way we're going to go here, what we're going to do. Okay, not what I expected. That's what we're going to do. All right, there we go. All right, well, that's happening. Let's see. How much is that field 43 I was talking about? 111. So see, that's not terrible. It's really not. I mean, some of these other ones near us are atrocious. They're very, very expensive. 207. I mean, we're not going to have anywhere near that for a long, long time. But that one is probably the one for us to go for here right off the bat. Gets us the grass we need for the goats, for the sheep. Now, we're not going to need that for a little while. I'm going to be clear. We're not, because they're able to reproduce right now, but they're not going to start reproducing for a couple of months, probably at a minimum. And we're going to need to make some more money anyway before we can even do that, because even if we buy the field, we got to get a mower. Then we're going to get a baler of some sort, or at least a loading wagon. If not, we might do a loading wagon, because we've been doing a lot of baling lately on the channel, so we might do a loading wagon. We'll see. But a loading wagon kind of sounds good up front, at least initially to me. To kind of offset a little bit and not just do baling in every single series. I need to turn the beacons off. Forgot to turn the beacons off again. Now, I do like baling, which is weird. I know a lot of people hate it, but I don't really... Well, I don't love it, but I don't dislike baling, I guess is how I should put it. I think I like the loading wagon or the forage wagon or whatever you want to call it. I think I like doing that even more. I don't know why. I just do. So yeah, I think maybe we'll go that approach. Saves us a little bit of time, too. That way we don't have to worry about, you know, picking up the bales. We can literally just put it in the loading wagon, drive the loading wagon back to the farm and unload it, right? Alright, we're pretty much done here, gang. It's going to flip over any minute and say contract's complete. There it is. Perfect. We can fold this thing up. And we can return everything. And make ourselves some money. Alright. Up to 59,457. Alright, how are the sheep doing? They're just loving life. The goats are out there, having fun underneath the shade. Everybody's happy. You got anything spawned yet? Nope, nothing spawned yet. Okay. Well, you know, it was worth it. Do a quick save here. Productivity, everything. It's going to probably have to wait till the next month before we actually see anything. It says meadow. Well, it says meadow 100%, but I don't see them eating anything from the meadow, so there's nothing in the meadow, even though I have meadow out there. Well, that's a bit of a problem, isn't it? I guess we better go buy some grass really quick, huh? Maybe the meadow is not grown. That's probably part of the problem. I didn't even really think about that. I didn't even put that together. When I put it down, I just assumed it was going to be fully grown meadow, and it's not. So that was a mistake on my part, I guess. Let's see. Now, I'm not going to be utilizing the whole, any kind of, like, super cheats or extra money or anything like that. I'm on console, anyway, in case you don't know that. So, I don't really have the ability to have super cheats anyway, even if I wanted them. But off camera, I probably will utilize some of the liftable bales and pallet mods, you know, off camera if I need to move things around. This is much further along in the series. But whenever I'm on camera with you, I really won't utilize those unless we're stuck or something. There's a glitch or something like that. Square bale grass. I mean, I guess I just need to buy some square bale grasses, huh? 1.8, 2.4, 2.2. Alright, let's go pick those up. I might have to do it in two different trips, because I don't have a weight or anything. Perhaps I should buy a weight. I don't know. But right now I don't have any kind of weight. That might be a 2-tripper. But we definitely need to get them some sheep. Or some sheep. Get them some sheep. We definitely need to get them some grass so they can actually start producing stuff for us. And that they stay healthy. Put the beacons on. All that good stuff. You kind of know how the shop... Well, I'm on the wrong side of the road again. I'm just so used to driving on the right side of the road. You kind of know where the shop is at this point, I think. So I'll just do a jump cut and get up there and get these things loaded up. Okay, it is a little too heavy here. We're going to buy a weight. I really was hoping to not buy a weight yet, but we're going to buy one anyway. As far as which one we want, I don't know. I really don't know how much weight we need here. Maybe the 900. All right, this is a 50. I'm happy with 50. I'm happy with that. You can see I'm sliding all over the place, as you can see here, so we definitely need a weight of some sort. Probably should have put these down and picked up the weight, but we're going about it another way. I'm going to have to, actually. It's facing the wrong way. I don't know why they always spawn it that way. You would think they spawn it the other way, but whatever. What do I know? Okay, let's try this again. This should work now. Even with a smaller weight, it probably would work fine, but we're going to probably need the weight eventually anyway if we're going to be moving this many pallets and everything else around, right? Probably be good for us to have it. There we go. It's still a little wobbly, but it's better. It's much better than it was. Get on the left side of the road, Z. Get on the left side of the road. It's gonna be hard for me to remember this. I just gotta make sure these things don't go sliding off. I have a feeling like they're gonna go sliding off because the cornering is not the greatest with a controller. I'm gonna be honest with you. Might partially be me, but you can't blame all of it on me. This should be sufficient for a little while. We're probably going to have to buy more in the next episode. I don't see any way that we're not going to be able to have to buy more. And early on here for a little while, like I mentioned, it's going to be probably a lot of contracts, as it is with pretty much every series at this point, with it being such an early game and not being out for very long. There's just not enough... I was going to say resources. Resources doesn't really make sense. There's just not enough equipment. There's not enough items out in the shop yet to make it viable to start off without just doing contracts for a while. So it's a lot more enjoyable when it's your own land. I get that, but you know, early on stages, we're just gonna have to kind of suffer through it. And watch it, Byron. Watch it, buddy. That's Byron, by the way. That's Byron, the black car. We've got Walter, white. Get Alfred, the blue car, which you already saw Alfred. Those are, and then there's Scarlet, which is the red car. Those Scarlet, it's normally Scarlet, Walter, and Byron. Those are the three that drive me insane. They're the biggest pain in the asses. And here we go. This is going to happen right here. I had to slow down or he was going to run right into me again, just like Alfred did. So they're the big pain in the asses. They always have been, at least from FS22. But there's a bunch of other ones as well I've mentioned, right? So if we run into the other ones, I'll let you know. But those are the three big ones, and Alfred evidently is rearing his ugly head here in this episode. So he might be one to deal with here as we move along too. Who knows? We're gonna go this way. Like I say, we've got to do a little bit of work on the ground here. We got to do some painting and some maneuvering of things around on the ground to try to make it look a little bit better. I guess I should have did this earlier on in the episode, but I really, for whatever reason, thought... let me see where the actual spot is. I don't want to put him in the wrong spot and then have to move him again. It's right where I'm at, isn't it? Yes, it is. I really thought that meadow that we put in was going to be already ready for them to eat, but that's not the case. So, it is what it is. How are they doing now? I mean, not that great, actually. Their capacity is only at 12,000, so not that great, but that's all right. We'll get through it. We'll make it through it. We just have to do some more contracts and buy some more bales. We have to do that. It is what it is. We're going to leave the episode at that point, gang. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I would greatly appreciate it if you smash the like button for me. Subscribe if you stumbled across this and are brand new. That way you can stay up to date on any other videos I have. Thanks so much to my members. A lot of you have been around for a long time. A number of you, they're my initial 2. I think they just eclipsed 7 months, which is absolutely insane. So thank you so much for your support, man. That means a lot. If you want to become a member, links in the description down below. You get access to this video and other videos early, among other things as well. A special members-only video once a month. Plus your name's always in the credits as well. So thanks so much for your continued support. I appreciate each and every single one of you, and I'll see you in the next one.